Okay. So last day we discussed up to this one, the block rate tariff. Block rate tariff means, according to this one, we need to understand few basic things in the tariff, that if a consumer consume more amount of electricity, then he should be give some consideration. He should be give some incentive, some rebate, some discount. Why? Because some before we install the power plant, we need to calculate the load demand of that area where you need to supply the electricity. And suppose the load demand is 100 megawatt. Based on this 100 demand, load demand, maximum demand obviously, so based on this 100 megawatt, we need to install our plant with this capacity. Now after installing the plant, after the plant is generating and supplying the electricity to the area, if the load demand suddenly fall to say 10 megawatt, then the alternator in efficiency is not utilized properly. It is installed based on the 100 megawatt demand, so that means it is able to 100 megawatt, it is able to generate 100 megawatt economically. But due to the decrease in the load demand or the maximum demand, the plant, the alternator which is installed based on the 100 megawatt demand now need to supply only 10 megawatt. So it is not utilized properly, and if something is not utilized properly, it is obviously not economical. But till now, means up to the this type of tariff, the flat rate tariff, we doesn't have any criteria, or means the supplying authority doesn't have any things that they actually give some rebate to the customer who actually takes more amount of power from the power plant. Now come to the block rate tariff. Block rate tariff means in every block the charge is actually different. Initial block say 0 to 50 unit, the first 50 unit, this is actually charged 3 rupees per unit. So whatever be the amount of money, amount of tariff, that will be reduced in the next block. In the next 30 block 2.5, the next 30 say 2 rupees per hour, 2 rupees per unit, like this one. So graphically it can be shown here. And this also gives some of the incentive to the customer who actually use more amount of electric energy. So it has only this advantage, disadvantage are there. Come to the next one, the two-part tariff. What is the two-part tariff? So in this tariff scheme, the total charge applied to the customer is actually divided in two parts. One is called the fixed cost, one is called the running cost. What are these things? It can be expressed like this one. Total cost applying to the customer is A plus B. A is in kilowatt and B is in kilowatt hour. It actually related to this one. Where this A, it is actually the charge per kilowatt of maximum demand. That is, A is a constant which when multiplied by the maximum demand, it gives the total fixed cost. And B is the charge per kilowatt hour of energy consumed. That means B is a constant which when multiplied by the unit consumed kilowatt hour, it gives the total running charges. So obviously, you know, what is the advantage of this scheme? This one you can easily understand, that how much actual energy the consumer consume. Based on this one, they actually need to pay the electric bill. It's very fine. The disadvantage was in a particular month, if the consumer not consume any electricity, then the supplying agency not charge any bill to the customer. But this is a disadvantage. Why? Because everything is running fine, the connection is running fine, the power plant is actually means able to supply the electricity, but as you are not consume any electricity, they are not able to supply the electricity, and they are not able to charge you. So this is the disadvantage. That's why based on your maximum demand, they actually charge you some of the fixed charge. And this is based on your maximum demand you declared initially. So the fixed charges will depend upon the maximum demand of the consumer, and the running charges will depend upon the actual energy they consumed. The fixed charges is due to the interest and depreciation of the capital cost of building and equipment, taxes, and a part of operating cost which is independent of the energy generated. Already discussed these things. So on the other hand, the running charges are due to the operating cost which varies with variation of the generated or supplied energy. Now here one important line is there, and a part of the operating cost which is independent of energy generated. So why the operating cost is called the fixed cost here? So it is because before we install the power plant, we need to need to take a survey based on the load demand. And while you find out the a huge load demand is there in that area where you're going to supply the electricity, then based on this load demand, we need to install our power plant. And as the load demand is high, then the ratings of the power plants are also very high. And as the ratings of the power plants are very high, so we need to install a higher rated alternator. We need to install a huge building. We need to take a lot of personnels in this area. So that means the initial cost of the fixed cost will also increase based on this one. But this is all before we supply the electric energy actually. So that means the fixed cost is also depend upon the operating cost in this way, but which is independent of the energy generation. We are supposed to generate this one, but while we are actually generating, it is not related. But if we supposed to generate more amount of electricity, our size will be big, the plant size will be big, and we need to spend a lot of capital cost for installing all these things. So that's why it is written that a part of the fixed cost is one of the part of the operating cost which is independent of the energy generated. The advantage key in this two-part tariff, first advantage is that if a consumer does not consume any energy in a particular month, the supplier will get the return equal to the fixed charges. So as you declared that is the amount of fixed charges in your home, based on this one, the supplying agency send you the electric bill if you not consume anything. So that's why you see that while you're not consuming any energy in a particular month, then also you need to give some of the money to the supplying agency as a part of the fixed cost. And while the fixed cost is written, while the maximum demand is written, it is written in your electric bill. So if you just minutely look at your electric bill, you see that your meter has a maximum demand. It may be 5 kilowatt, it may be 2.7 kilowatt. Okay. So based on this one, the charge is also different. Initially in our flat, we have a meter we have the same meter, but actually the maximum demand was 2.75. And based on this one, if we not consume any unit in a particular month, we need to give 36 rupees per month. Now we just increase the maximum demand from 2.75 to 5 megawatt, and that's why the fixed charges is also increased. Now if we not consume any electrical energy in a particular month, we need to give 40 rupees per month. So from 36 it will increase to 40 rupees. Okay. Disadvantage is that even if the consumer does not use any electricity, he has to pay the fixed charges regularly. So this is actually the disadvantage based on the consumer side, not from the generating side. Second one is that the maximum demand of the consumer is not determined. Hence, there is an error of assessment of maximum demand. Hence, conflict between the supplier and the consumer. What is the meaning of this one? It's an important thing. So as you are grown up, you need to know the meaning of these sentences, because when you go for the MTech study or any higher studies, then you see the teacher will not explain everything. Only the books will help you, and you must have the practice to find out the inner meaning of the sentences which is written in the book. If you're able to do these things, then whatever be the study, you can understand everything. ছোটবেলায় আমরা বুঝিয়ে দিই কেন, কারণ অনেক সময় বাচ্চারা কি হয়, যেটা লেখা থাকে সেটা পড়ে বুঝতে পারে না। So it's a responsibility of the teacher to make him or her understand. But as you are grown up, and you will be grown up more in the next semester or in the next years, so you need to know that the way to find out the meaning of these sentences. What is the meaning of this one? The maximum demand of the consumer is not determined. This is actually the main thing. The maximum demand of the consumer is not determined, and based on the maximum demand, you need to pay the bill. Okay. So that's why it's a conflict is there. But what is the meaning is actually, what is the actual meaning of this one? Like, okay, so you know the procedure for applying the electric meter in WBSEDCL or in the CSC? So you need to write an application, and based on your application, the company will install the meter and they will give you the connection, isn't?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the rating of that meter? means obviously the maximum demand rating. As I mentioned, initially we have a 2.75 kilowatt. Now it is increased to 5 megawatts. So it is not increased automatically. We have to pay. We have to pay some what is called the caution money. Then we have to apply somewhere. Then they when the supplying agency has actually increased our load demand from this 2.75 megawatt to 5 megawatt. Okay, but initially they give the meter based on the 2.75 kilowatt. I don't know. That is actually the 20 years back scenario. Nowadays, they may increase the load demand, but that is the by default. Suppose in your home you have only one fan, one TV, one bulb. Okay, only these three things. But also the company will give you the meter which has a rating of 2.75 kilowatt. It is more than enough based on the only three unit is there. And suppose you have so many appliances in your home, you have two AC, one fridge, one geyser, one TV, one music system, so many apparatus in your home. Then also they will charge you this 2.75 initially. So you need to apply it for increasing the load demand. So the supplying agency actually not measured the actual maximum demand in your home. Based on some slab, they actually give you the connection initially say 2.75 kilowatt, because this is the normal thing. If you doesn't have any AC or any other kind of thing, for a normal consumer this 2.75 kilowatt is enough. If you have a AC, one AC, two AC, up to three AC, your connection or the your maximum load demand is generally below 5 megawatt. So this 5 megawatt is the next slab. Then is the 7.25 megawatt. So if you have so many appliances, you have five ACs in your home, so many pump motor, all these things. So the next slab is the 7.5 megawatt. So supplying agency is actually not measuring all these things. They actually increase the number of slab. So you may say that I don't have anything in my home. I do have only one fan of 65 watt. I have only one bulb of say 100 watt. I have only one tube light for say 20 watt LED tube light. So why I need to pay the bill based on the 2.75 maximum load demand? So this is the meaning of this sentence. They actually not measure actually. Based on some slab, they actually they actually decide this is the maximum load demand for this type of customer, next slab customer, and huge customer like this. So generally applied for industrial consumer with appreciable maximum demand. Okay, they actually not measure the actual maximum demand. They actually assume something, and based on their assumption, you need to pay the fixed charges. Come to this one, maximum demand tariff. So in this tariff, the energy consumed is charged on the basis of maximum demand. The unit consumed here called the maximum demand. The maximum demand is calculated by maximum demand meter. So here you see this is actually the difference between this two-part tariff and the maximum demand tariff. Here, as I mentioned, that in case of two-part tariff, based on the assumption of the electric supply agency, you need to pay the bill. So there is obviously some confliction. So in the next part, they actually install a maximum demand, and that maximum demand is actually calculating the actual maximum demand of your area or of your home, of your industry. So based on this one, you need to pay the fixed charges. And the running charges is definitely no problem. Running charges is actually how much energy is consumed. And maximum demand means what was your maximum demand in that predefined time. What is the difference between these two things?
Yes, sir.
In the two-part, maximum demand, in the two-part, the maximum demand is based on the assumption. In the maximum demand, it is actually measured. So this removes any conflict between the supplier and the consumer, as it were in the two-part tariff. It is similar to two-part tariff. Obviously, it is similar to the two-part tariff, but here the maximum demand is actually measured, not based on any assumption. Generally applied to large industrial consumer. Last one is the power factor tariff. No, not the means the second last one is the power factor tariff. So in this tariff scheme, the power factor of the consumer load is also considered, because you know that the power factor is a very important part of the power system, parameters of the power system, and if it is low, then the losses will increase, imbalanced between the stability is also increases. So we always want that our load consume a high amount of power factor. Power factor should be high, but sometimes it is not obviously possible due to these induction motors or any inductive type of load. So consumer which have the low power factor, they will be charged more. Okay, it can be further divided in the two types. One is the kilovolt ampere maximum demand tariff, and second one is the this kilowatt and kVAr tariff, and third one is also the sliding scale tariff. What is the meaning of this one? First one is that kVA maximum demand tariff. So here the maximum demand is based on this kVA, because we know that the power factor is nothing but the kilowatt by kVA. Okay, so that means the power factor has an inverse relation with the kVA. So that means as if your kVA requirement is very high, then your power factor is low, and as your kVA requirement is very high, you will be charged more. And if your kVA requirement is low, then your power factor is high, and as your power factor is high, you will be charged less. Okay. Not less, say sometimes they have to give some incentive like this or some discount like this. So this is called the kVA maximum demand tariff. And second one is the kilowatt or kVAr tariff. So in this tariff scheme, the total cost is divided in two parts. One, based on the active power consumption, that is actually how much energy you are actually consuming in a particular time. And second one is the reactive power consumption. And this active power measurement and the reactive power measurement is done separately. So they need to install a separate meter for measuring this reactive power consumption and the active power consumption. So obviously a consumer having low power factor will consume more reactive energy, and that will be they need to pay more. And the last one is the sliding scale tariff. Sliding scale tariff means here the power factor is fixed somewhere. So generally they say 80%, 0.8 lagging. Now if your power factor is more than this one, say 0.9, you will give some discounts. And if your power factor is less than this reference value, say 0.8, then you will be penalized. Okay, so that is called the sliding scale tariff, because this power factor plays an important role. If the power factor is become low, it will create so many disturbance in the system. So the supplying agency wants that your load should consume a reasonable power factor. Generally 0.8, 0.7 is sufficient, but if it is 0.2, 0.3, then the company have some problem for generating this amount of electricity. So that's why they give incentive or discount if your power factor is high, and they will penalize you if your power factor is low. Last one is called the three-part tariff. So in this scheme, total costs are divided into three sections. One is fixed cost, semi-fixed cost, and running cost. Okay. So total cost is divided here. You see A plus B plus C. So A is a purely fixed cost, not related to anywhere, any generation. B is depend upon your maximum demand, and C is depend upon your actual energy consumption as the cost of the electric energy generation. This is actually the same kind of thing. A is called the fixed charges, B is called the kilowatt maximum demand, because so many times I mentioned this one, that if your maximum demand is high, the company need to install more amount of alternator, more higher rated alternators, higher building, higher capital investment for installing this power plant to supply this maximum demand. So that's why this is a part of the fixed charges. This doesn't have any relation with the generation, but before we install the power plant, we need to install the power plant based on the supply. And if we need to supply, if we supposed to supply more amount of electricity, we need to install the more power plant, and more huge power plant means more capital cost will involve based on this one. Okay, so this B is the part of this particular thing, and C very easy to understand. C is actually the generation, sorry, not the generation, the bill based on actually how much energy is consumed. This is kilowatt hour. So this type of tariff is generally applied for the big consumer. Now, for the domestic consumer, generally this two-part tariff is applied. Okay, this one is generally applied, where the supplying agency not measure the actual maximum demand in our home or residence. They actually, based on some predefined criteria, predefined maximum demand, they actually charge your bill. So that means whenever you are consuming the electricity or not, you need to pay some of the fixed charges. And here some block rate is also applied. Block rate means suppose you consume say 200 units of electricity in a particular month. This 200 units is not charged in a same way. Suppose first 50 or first 70 is charged accordingly. This is different things based on the CESC and WBSEB. It is also written in the bill, in our electric bill, that what is the first block, what is the second block, and what should be the charge for the first block, second block, like this one. So our bill is based on the this block rate as well as in the two-part tariff. Now some numerical problem is there based on this one. This is very easy numerical problem. It doesn't need to remember so many formulas for doing this one. First one is that the maximum demand of a consumer is 15 ampere at 230 volt, and his total energy consumption is 9000 kilowatt hour. So if the energy is charged at a rate of 5 per unit for 600 use of the maximum demand per annum plus rupees 2 per unit for additional unit, then you need to calculate the annual bill and the equivalent flat rate. Okay. So first we go for the how the annual bill will be prepared. First, assume the load factor and the power factor to be unity, as it is not given here. So we take it as the unity. So maximum demand is 230 volt, 15 ampere into 1 by 1000. Okay, so this is our maximum demand. It's equal to 3.45 kilowatt. 1 for the power factor, and this 1000 for converting this watt to kilowatt hour, kilowatt. So that's why it is called 3.45 kilowatt. This is the maximum demand. Unit consumed in 600 hour equal to 3.45 into 600. We consider load factor is also 1. What is the load factor? Load factor is actually the ratio between the actual load consumption and the maximum demand. And if the load factor is not mentioned in the question, take it as unity. Unity means whatever is the maximum demand, that is actually the energy consumption. Okay. So unit consumed in 600 hour equal to 3.45 into 600, which is equal to 2070 kilowatt hour. Charges for 2070 kilowatt hour is rupees 5 বলেছিল এখানে. So 5 unit for 600 hours. So 5 into this 2070, which is equal to 10,350. Remaining unit is total 9000 is the unit consumption by this particular consumer, and we are actually finding out the 2070 unit already. So remaining unit is 6930 kilowatt hour. Charge is 6930 into 2, which is given in the question. It's equal to 13,860. So annual bill is 13,860 plus this 10,350, which is equal to 24,210. That is the actually how the annual bill is prepared. Now what is called the equivalent flat rate? Equivalent flat rate means, as you see here, the charge is based on the block rate. That means in this first block, this is actually the charge. So first 600 unit, the charge is 5 rupees per hour, 5 rupees per unit. For the remaining unit, the charge is 2 rupees per unit, like this one. So it is actually categorized. But flat rate means everything is flat. Whatever is the generation, total cost divided by the number of unit produced is called the flat rate. So equivalent flat rate is 24,210, which is actually the unit, which is actually the money we need to pay annually, divided by how much unit we consume annually, which was 9,000. So this total cost by the 9,000, which is equal to 2.69. So if the supply agency charges with a uniform rate, then it should be 2.69. How much unit we consume, how much bill we pay. So how much bill we pay divided by unit consumed gives you the flat rate, which is generally not used in the normal consumer. Okay. So this is actually the answer of the first one. It's very easy. Come to the second one. A consumer has a maximum demand as 150 kilowatt at 50% load factor. So here the load factor is given, and maximum demand is also given, which is equal to 150 kilowatt. That means in a particular time, the demand may be increased to 150 megawatt, and generally it is 50% of this load demand. So if the tariff is rupees 800 per kilowatt of maximum demand plus 2 per kilowatt hour, find the overall cost per kilowatt hour. Okay. Solution, unit consumed per year. This is equal to MD means what?
Maximum demand.
So this is the maximum demand into LF means the load factor into hours in a year. That is the unit consumed per year. So maximum demand is 150 kilowatt. Load factor is 50%, so 0.5, and hours in a year is 8760. Okay, you need to remember, because while you calculating the tariff and these load factor problems, then this one is very important. You need to memorize. Otherwise, unnecessary, you need to spend 1 minute of time in the exam time to find out how much hour is there in a year. Okay, 24 is the number of hour in a day into 365 gives you this value, 8760. So this is equal to 657000 kilowatt hour. That is the unit consumed per year. Annual charges equal to annual maximum demand charges plus annual energy charges, because it is as it is given, the tariff is given in this way. So 150 is the maximum demand into 800, because this is actually a fixed charges. Whatever be your maximum demand, based on this maximum demand, you need to pay some bill, and this is actually the 800 per kilowatt hour. So 150 into 800, this is the fixed charges, and the running charges is 2 into 65700, because the 2 is the tariff for this kilowatt hour actual energy consumption. So 2 into 657,000, which gives you how much? 14,34,000 rupees. Okay. So overall cost per kilowatt hour is same. That is actually the flat rate. This one, the money you need to pay, the unit you consume. So it's equal to 2.18. Okay. So in this way, you need to find out the solution of this electrical tariff problem. And here this type of thing is also related. The basics of this load factor, the maximum demand, the depreciation factor, like this one, which you already covered in the unit 1. So please go through this one, because unless you know what is the meaning of this one, this term, the load factor, the maximum demand, then you are not able to proceed. Okay. So we'll stop here.